Here we go. We are back with Dead by Daylight. This will be the second video I post, and this is also to help someone that I know get familiar with the game and figure out what they're supposed to do when they play it. Today we are playing as the Survivor in order to explain the mechanics of that and how all that works. And the reason we're picking Detective Tapp today is because we have some rituals tied to him. We have starter rituals, which in the newest update seems to spawn back for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. I finished all the first starter rituals, but it spawned some new ones for me. And in this we need to heal one other survivor. But if you take a look in our dailies here, we can clearly see that the game wants me to play as Detective Tapp, heal other survivors, and repair some generators as him. And then in our weekly, another thing I can do in this game is cleanse some totems and hopefully get them all figured out. As Detective Tapp, we are going in with the best medkit available, as well as the surgical suture, which increases the chance of skill checks and increases overall healing speed. And I know what you're gonna say, increasing the likelihood of skill checks is not really a good idea, but take a look here at the other add-on I have, the Sponge, which increases the progression bonus for succeeding great skill checks. And that is super handy, which makes this combo here a little overpowered. You can usually heal someone in less than 10 seconds if you play your cards right with this mix. For the offering, we've got the Petrified Oak, which makes hooks spawn a little further away from each other, and that will also help us. And for his perks, we're going in with his personal perk, Tenacity, which allows him to crawl faster and recover while he's doing so. And that can be super handy, especially if you can combine it with Unbreakable and Flip-Flop, but unfortunately Tapp doesn't have either of those perks, so we'll just make do with that. Instead, we're going to be mixing Tenacity with Decisive Strike, which essentially is an anti-tunneling perk. For those of you who don't know, tunneling is when the killer just insists on going for one survivor. Usually they're pretty mad because you've already completed 4 generators and they're just trying to get that one kill. And so Decisive Strike can really help fight against that. In the last update, this was kind of a 50-50 shot of working. You know, the skill check would be pretty hard to hit, but I've noticed with this newest update, skill checks are a lot slower, so we'll see, but I'm pretty sure Decisive Strike's going to be a lot easier to successfully activate. As you can see, we also have Diversion, which is pretty useful. As long as you stay within the killer's terror radius, this will start charging up, and once it's full and you have nothing else in your hands, you'll be able to throw a rock, which will leave some false scratch marks as well as a sound notification. And especially in these lower ranks, that is super useful. A lot of killers will just fall for it, and it can help you get one of your friends out of a tight squeeze, or even help yourself. If you think the killer's on to where you're at, you can just throw a rock somewhere, create a diversion, have them look that way, and immediately go the other direction. Now, if you don't have any practice with the diversion perk, you might notice it is kind of easy to accidentally hit an obstacle somewhere, accidentally activate those scratch marks and that noise notification right next to you, and have the perk end up backfiring on you. But if you practice it a little bit, you can get pretty good at figuring out where those hitboxes are and throwing it exactly where you want, to where the killer will just be far away from you. And finally, we're using the Inner Healing perk, which is one of my favorites for sure. All you have to do to activate it is cleanse a totem, and once you've done that, just hide it in a locker and you will heal yourself after a maximum of 10 seconds. So all that combined is super useful. So with all that figured out, and without further ado, we are going to hit start. I'm pretty sure I explained everything he's got, yeah, so we should be good to go. Now, as a survivor, my goal is to repair the at least 5 generators on the map, run to an exit gate, get it open, and then do the dip dance away from the killer. And naturally, the killer's goal is going to be to try to stop me from doing that. And even though I'm used to being a red rank in both Survivor and Killer, I have noticed there is still that off chance that things just go south and I could end up on the hook. But you know what they say, death is no escape, so we are going to go for the survival. Now, I'm going to try to point out some tips and tricks just to help out not only the person I've made this video for, but anyone else who just doesn't really understand the game mechanics. I was going to show there that you can actually, before you start playing, take a look at everyone's add-ons, take a look at their details, see what they've got, but honestly, I wasn't even really paying attention, so I don't actually know what my teammates have. But we do have a lot of offerings today, and that is always a good thing, because that means we're going to have some fun this round. Now, you might have noticed there, during the prep for this survival level, whatever you want to call it, we could not see who the killer was, and that is a little downside to playing as a survivor. You don't know who the killer is before the match starts, but luckily there are quite a few killers who have some giveaways that you can use, possibly as early as right when the match starts, to know exactly who you're up against, see what the situation is, and maybe even help you get out of there alive. For example, if the map loads in and you can see some bear traps near you, 100% chance you're going up against the trapper. And that is definitely a helpful fact to know. We're loading in here, and you can see there are 3 different movement options that I can actually look at here. Now, the first rule you're going to want to do not run unless you have to. When you run, you leave scratch marks behind you, and the killer will use those scratch marks to end you pretty quickly. Especially in the beginning of the match like this, the killer's definitely going to be going for anyone who's leaving some scratch marks behind, giving them a hint or clue as to where you are. So don't run unless the killer sees you. There are some exceptions to that rule, but for the most part, you're going to want to play it safe like that. So, as you can see, I spawned near one generator, but I chose to walk over to this one. That's essentially because in the early game, before the killers found anyone, it's pretty dangerous to be just hopping on a generator. You have to do it, of course, but preferably, you're gonna want to wait like I just did. Fang Ming there has the killer's attention, so I know for a fact that I can start working on this generator and not worry too much about the killer hopping on my position. Now, I am gonna try to heal her as soon as I can. Whoopsies! We just missed our first skill check. That is definitely a great idea. No, it's always bad to miss a skill check because the killer gets a sound notification for where you are and will usually go after you if they're not already after someone else. But as you can see, Fang Ming just got downed right over there. I can see her aura, so we are going to try to save her ASAP. And another bonus, I just saw who the killer is. The pig. And now one of the benefits for the pig is, as you can see here, like I was saying, some killers have dead giveaways. This is one of those giveaways. I can see the jigsaw box right there, so I didn't even have to see that she was chasing Fang in order to know that that's who the killer is for this match. Now on the downside here, the pig has jaw traps she can put on your head. And that's what that little circle around thing means face is representing. It's representing that she does have a jaw trap on her. And if she doesn't take that off before the timer runs out, it will explode and she will be instantly killed. Or sacrificed, or whatever you want to call it. But, there's also killers like the Huntress and the Trickster who have unique soundtracks that play when they start getting close to you. And that is how you can tell that that's who you're facing off against. Now, I did kind of lag on that reaction, but hopefully it won't make a difference. Just like that, got her with one pallet. We're gonna hide behind here. We're gonna wait for her, because she is gonna be coming back for me. Just like that. That is how you do it. And I'm gonna duck here. And if I can... Oh, sounds like she's nearby. And I'm gonna throw a rock right over there. And hopefully that did the trick to distract her for just a second. Sorry about that little charging indicator. My charger is not the best. It hasn't happened yet where I've needed to replug it back in, but it does happen occasionally. So hopefully that doesn't ruin the game too much for anyone watching. But just like that, she gave up. At least as far as I know, she gave up. Now, that's kind of one of the tricks with the pig. An issue with her is that she can go into stealth mode and she will not give off the heartbeat indicator to let you know that she's nearby, and she will not give off that red stain that you might have seen when she was chasing me. That's a little red aura right in front of them that shows which direction they're looking, and also gives you a bit of a chance to stay away from them. You'll see that red stain whether or not they're chasing you. It's just always present, just how the game works. I'm not quite sure what the pig's game plan is right now. She's not playing with much strategy from what I can tell. But then again, neither are my teammates, it would seem. So what I'm going to try to do is stay away from what's going on over there. Stay near my buddy. And save them as soon as I get the chance, just like that. Now he's going to want to run. And I'm just going to duck down here in the hope she doesn't see me. And now that I have the chance, throw another... Oh, that was pointless. I should not have wasted that diversion. She's already got someone else on her mind. So that was not a good idea. But saved someone off the hook. Didn't heal him, which is unfortunate because that is one of my ritual goals. But it is what it is. You can't always rescue them. Can't always fully heal them, you know? Looks like she's ducked down there. And she missed again. And she missed again. Wow. I'm getting really good at looping these killers, tell you what. Now I'm gonna hide in this corner here. Ah! If only her hitbox had not managed to get me. But, yep, that is one downside. The killer can, in fact, do that to you. Do you dirty just like that. But luckily, I can just heal myself real quick. Smack her with another pallet. Run away while she's trying to figure out what's going on. Then find another safe place. Start healing again. Now this is what we call the loop. And looping is when you essentially tell a killer to give up If you can find a really good loop, what your basic strategy with that is to avoid them, use obstacles to your advantage to get them off of you, and hopefully get out of there safe and sound. So this medkit has proven useful. I have not yet used the inner healing perk, but luckily with my medkit I just haven't needed it yet. Now, I'm not quite sure how effectively I would have been able to avoid her anyway in order to get to a locker, because the pig is very dangerous. Although, this one seems to be pretty new at the game. She did not hit that generator like she should have, so it didn't regress. And without the regressing generators, a killer's just not going to be able to win. It really is that simple. If you're a killer, always hit the generators as soon as you get a chance. If you don't do it, the survivors are eventually going to repair them all. And as you can see here, we already have 4 done. And that is very bad for her, especially with the fact that she's only got one of us on a jaw trap as well. But it is what it is. Can't always be helped. And one of my friends finished a different generator, so we are good to go. All we gotta do is get to an exit gate, hopefully save Dwight before then. He's gotta get that jaw trap off, because if he doesn't, then he's done for. Now, I wasn't positive that she was right behind me, but that pretty much answered that question. Looks like she's definitely going for me. Can she get me before I get to the other exit gate? We will find out. I'm definitely going to start healing myself before doing anything else. And poor Dwight. Now, one trick with that jaw trap is if he can manage to get the pig to go into a chase with him, he'll be able to get out of here safe and sound, even with the active jaw trap. That is one of the benefits. The timer gets paused if the killer starts chasing you, and that can be super helpful. Now, I still have that heartbeat indicator saying she's nearby, but I do not see her, and I'm not quite sure what her plan is. But hopefully Feng here lets me heal her for that bonus XP. Nope, she's out of here. Oh well. You know, sometimes I can't always save them all. We got one buddy who managed to get out of here. One poor chap who clearly ran out of time on the jaw trap timer. And like I said, it will insta-kill you. So, just to help out my friend Jake, I'm gonna throw a rock right over here, get the killer's attention. Oh, and he's out, so he's good to go. And we're out. So not too bad, not too bad. Didn't really get to work on those rituals like I wanted, but I did cleanse at least one totem. You know, got a little bit of progress in that. And sometimes that's just all you can ask for. And as you can see here, I got the highest score. Not that it really matters, but it's always good to see the stats at the end of each round, see who was putting in the most work. I'm kind of surprised that we did so well. Seems like all of my fellow survivors must have known what they were doing there. Now I don't know which daily ritual. Oh, yeah, of course, I did work on generators, so that makes sense. So as Tapp, we did manage to fulfill that ritual of fixing the generators. All we gotta do as him now is heal others. And in general, we gotta cleanse totems, blind the killer, and then, if we have a chance, as Jane, we'll need to be chased by the killer, which is quite a fun ritual to get, I must say. Seems like I've got 45 minutes left to fulfill all of these. Probably not going to happen. I can at least finish the killer's rituals, but, you know, overall, definitely a good situation. We managed to survive, managed to escape, got a little bit of experience for Tapp, and that's about it. I did point out everything I could as soon as I could, and hopefully, if you've never played the game before, you at least have an idea of just what you're supposed to do in order to survive. So, that's about the end. If you liked this video, go ahead and drop a like. If you didn't like it, of course, you can also leave a dislike. No one's gonna see it anyway, but I'll definitely use it as feedback. And subscribe if you think I'm gonna post more. Until then, you all have a wonderful day.